Hi, my name is Lindsay Knotts. I'm a makeup coach and stay-at-home mom, and today I'm going to tell you all about my crazy single white female stalker slash roommate situation. And just prepare yourself because this is about to be one of the craziest stories you have ever heard. So in 2018, I had just graduated high school and I moved to California to go to ministry school. A few months into my time at ministry school, I connected online with a woman who claimed that she was also a follower of Christ. At the time, I thought that she was in her mid to late 20s, but come to find out, she was actually 36. And I didn't think it was weird at the time because, I liked connecting with older women that I thought that I could gain some biblical wisdom from. So after a few weeks of talking back and forth, she messaged me and told me that she was in a dire financial situation and that the people that she was living with were actually kicking her out because of her faith. And considering she lived in Los Angeles, I was like, plausible. And when I asked her what her job situation was, she said that she didn't actually have a real job because she was working for the Lord. And in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, the Apostle Paul was a tent maker. It's not like, Christians are called not to have a job. But considering the financial and emotional situation that she was in, I didn't really want to question her too much about it. And if you know me in real life, you know that I'm a giving person. I'm self-admittedly a fixer. I like to fix people that are broken and take in, the broken little birds. So I get myself into situations like these. But at the time, I really felt for her, and I was making good money as a makeup artist, so I sent her several $100s and bought her a train ticket to move up to Northern California where I was living. And a sweet family from the ministry school that I was going to even allowed her to move in with them. Having her up there at first was actually really nice. I felt sort of alone being out there at 18 years old in California by myself, and so having her friendship was really sort of comforting at first. But boy, oh boy, as time went on, things started to take a really weird turn. So one night we were hanging out and we were sort of just, getting to know each other a little bit more. And she had shared with me that before she came to know the Lord that she was in some same-sex relationships. And listen, no judgment here. I was an atheist and I was involved in my fair share of crazy things before I came to know Jesus. So the whole same-sex relationship thing didn't really faze me. But as the weeks went by, I noticed that she was becoming increasingly obsessive and possessive over me. This 36-year-old woman began writing poetry and texting it to me on a daily basis about our friendship. And it had a strangely lovey tone, but it was subtle enough to where you didn't want to just accuse someone of being weird. And then as time went on, she began writing songs about me, put them over slideshows of pictures of me, and basically put the song in the video via voiceover. And every day when I came home from ministry school, I was expected to hang out with her, and if I didn't, she would throw a full-blown toddler tantrum. But I thought maybe she's just sweet and a little bit more expressive than I am, and maybe she's just having a hard time adjusting to living in a new place. So I wanted to give this lady some grace. So fast forward 4 months, she's still displaying these really weird behaviors and whatnot, but was still sort of keeping me reeled in or whatever, because she was broken and she needed my friendship and whatever, and I didn't want to feel like I just abandoned her. So without getting into all of the details, I actually decided to leave that ministry school and move back to my home in Ohio. And when I told her that, she told me that she has family in Ohio and she wanted to move back to Ohio with me. So I was under the impression that, she would move back to Ohio with me, maybe stay with my mom and I for a few weeks, and then go to where her family lives and move in with them. But when she moved in with us, all hell broke loose. Though we had a guest room in our house, this woman, 36-year-old woman, insisted on sleeping with me in my bed because she was afraid to be alone in a new environment. If I tried to leave the house without her, I would get a barrage of texts telling me that our friendship must not mean to me what it does to her. And when I would tell her that she needs to calm down and that she's acting crazy, she would text me poem after poem after poem about how I am just breaking her heart. This woman had a screw loose, okay? She was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. There would be times where she would pick a fight with me because I wasn't paying enough attention to her. And so I would decide, you know what, I'm just not going to engage with this and I'm going to go to bed. And she would sit there next to me in the bed and just start mumbling and muttering things under her voice for hours. I don't know if she was trying to mentally torture me or creep me out or intimidate me, but it was creepy. I can tell you that. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm done. And I sit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs lady down and tell her, I feel like our relationship just isn't healthy. I feel like there's some, inappropriate things that you're displaying towards me that are making me feel really uncomfortable. And I just feel like it would be best if, you moved to be with your family now. And when I tell you that this woman flew into a rage, I am talking rage. I locked myself in my brother's room for 12 hours just to be away from her, while she's banging on the door telling me, you need to talk to me, you need to open this door right now. And I wasn't opening that door for nothing. You can bet your britches I was sitting in my brother's room booking this woman an Airbnb so that she could go far, far away. All right, like a few hours away. But anything to get away from her. And don't forget, she didn't have a job, so I'm the one that had to pay for all of this. I booked this lady an Airbnb for 2 weeks so that she could figure her stuff out. Because like the nice person I am, I just didn't want to leave her deserted on the side of the road. She refused to call her family that lives in Ohio to come and pick her up. So I felt like it was my responsibility to make sure that she had a safe place to go. And after hours of trying to convince her to get in the car so I could take her to her Airbnb, I finally convinced her, dropped her off at our Airbnb in Lake Erie, Pennsylvania, and said bye-bye. After that day, I never did see her again, but boy, did I hear from her every single day for 2 years. Every single day. I'm not exaggerating. I would receive daily texts from her telling me how brokenhearted she was and how betrayed she felt. And not only that, but I would receive daily poetry for 2 years, even when I got married, about how much she missed our friendship, how much she loved me. I would still receive songs with like picture slideshows. It was a bunch of Looney Tune craziness. Keep in mind, about a month into all of this, I just stopped replying to her text messages because I could not take the gaslighting and the manipulation and the weird, inappropriate behavior anymore. And she still continued to text me on a daily basis for 2 years. And you might be thinking, well, why didn't you just like block her number so that she couldn't contact you? I did. She would create Google phone numbers to reach out to me. She would create new Apple IDs to reach out to me. She would email me from different emails. She was legitimately stalking and harassing me. And then all of a sudden, text messages stopped. And I was like, wow, that's weird. I didn't know why, but I was just glad that she stopped texting me. Come to find out, she had connected with a 50-something-year-old woman in California, moved back to California, moved in with this woman and her husband, and proceeded to try and destroy her marriage and her family. So if you would like to hear part 2 about how I helped to liberate this woman from the chains of this crazy cuckoo puff lady, then comment down below. But until then, thank you guys for listening to my crazy life story times. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that my trauma is put to good use for your entertainment. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I look forward to connecting with you again soon, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.